Sunny Creek Ranch was waking up to a bright, cheerful morning. The sun was climbing slowly over the hills, spreading golden light across the green fields. Birds were singing in the trees, and the gentle breeze carried the fresh smell of hay and flowers. The ranch was quiet except for the soft clucking of chickens and the distant sound of cows. Near the barn, 3 baby donkeys were playing together. Their names were Benji, Lulu, and Milo. Benji was the most curious of the 3. He loved exploring everything he saw and often wandered a little farther than the others. Lulu was playful and energetic. She liked to chase butterflies and roll in the grass. Milo was gentle and calm. He preferred to stay close to his friends and watch them have fun. That morning, the baby donkeys were particularly excited. The sun felt warm on their soft fur, and the grass was cool under their little hooves. They ran around, nuzzling each other and braying softly. Their tiny tails wagged happily and their ears twitched with every sound. It was a perfect morning for adventure. Sam, the kind-hearted cowboy who owned the ranch, was standing near the chicken coop. He wore his old hat, a plaid shirt, and worn boots that had carried him across many fields. Sam loved all the animals on his ranch, especially the baby donkeys. He always made sure they were safe and well fed. That morning, he was feeding the chickens when he noticed something unusual. The barn gate was slightly open and the donkeys were nowhere in sight. Sam's heart skipped a beat. He called their names softly but clearly. "Benji, Lulu, Milo, where are you?" His voice echoed across the fields, but there was no answer. The donkeys usually stayed close to the barn, so it was unusual for them to wander this far. Sam felt a little worried, but he knew he had to stay calm to find them. He started walking slowly across the field, looking under the trees and near the haystacks. The grass brushed against his boots and the sound of birds filled the air. Sam knew the baby donkeys liked to hide in quiet places when they were curious or wanted to rest. He remembered how they sometimes crawled under the hay piles to take a nap. He hoped they had not gone too far. Meanwhile, the baby donkeys were having their own little adventure. Benji had noticed a patch of bright yellow flowers and decided to inspect them. Lulu had seen a butterfly and was chasing it across the grass. Milo had climbed a small hill and was looking down at the fields below. They were so focused on their fun that they did not realize how far they had wandered. Sam walked toward the edge of the field, thinking carefully about where the donkeys might have gone. He whistled softly, hoping they would hear him. He also called for Max, the ranch dog. Max was small but very clever. He loved helping Sam find things. When Max heard Sam calling, he barked happily and ran ahead. His nose twitched as he sniffed the ground, picking up the faint scent of the baby donkeys. Sam followed Max, his boots crunching in the grass. The ranch looked different from this angle. The hills rose higher, the trees seemed taller, and the field stretched farther than he usually noticed. He felt a mix of worry and hope. He knew the baby donkeys were brave little creatures, but they were also small and needed care. As he moved through the fields, Sam thought about the personalities of each donkey. Benji was curious and adventurous, but he sometimes forgot to stay close. Lulu was playful and full of energy, and Milo was gentle and always careful. Sam smiled to himself as he remembered the funny things they had done in the past, like trying to chase their own shadows or play hide-and-seek in the barn. The sun climbed higher, making the shadows short and the colors bright. Sam paused on a small rise and looked around. He could see the creek glistening in the sunlight and the barn far behind him. His eyes scanned the fields carefully, hoping to spot the little donkeys. Then in the distance, he noticed 3 tiny shapes moving slowly near a grove of trees. His heart lifted. Could it be them? Sam called out their names again, a little louder this time. "Benji, Lulu, Milo!" The baby donkeys perked up their ears. Benji brayed softly, Lulu neighed, and Milo made a gentle sound. They had heard Sam and were happy to know he was nearby. Sam quickened his pace, keeping his eyes on the little figures. He felt a rush of relief and happiness. He was determined to reach them safely before they wandered any farther. The adventure of the morning had turned into a small search mission, but Sam knew that soon the baby donkeys would be safe, happy, and full of joy again. The 3 baby donkeys had wandered farther than usual, but they were completely unaware of it. Benji, the most curious one, had been chasing the shadows of the flowers swaying in the breeze. He sniffed every patch of grass he came across and tried to nibble a few leaves that looked extra green and fresh. Lulu, full of energy, was darting back and forth trying to catch a bright yellow butterfly that flitted around the grove of trees. Milo, gentle and thoughtful, had found a little hill to climb and was looking down at the fields with wide eyes, as if enjoying a little view from above. The sun was warm, and the air smelled sweet from the flowers and fresh grass. The 3 baby donkeys were enjoying their adventure so much that they did not notice how far they had gone from the barn. They were playing, exploring, and making small happy noises. Benji brayed softly when he saw Lulu roll in the grass. Lulu neighed excitedly as she tried to catch the butterfly again. Milo gave a quiet bray and trotted over to make sure his friends were okay. Meanwhile, Sam had followed Max, the small, clever ranch dog, through the field. Max was running ahead, sniffing the ground carefully. His little nose twitched as he picked up the faint scent of the baby donkeys. Sam followed, feeling a mixture of worry and hope. He knew the donkeys loved to explore, but they were still very small and could get tired quickly. Sam's heart beat a little faster as he walked through the tall grass, calling softly, "Benji, Lulu, Milo." Sam scanned the area carefully. The field was wide and there were many trees and small hills. He remembered all the quiet spots where the donkeys liked to hide. Sometimes they went under haystacks, sometimes behind the barn, and sometimes near the creek. He knew they liked soft grass and shaded areas. He hoped that they had found a comfortable place to rest. The wind carried the scent of flowers and hay, mixed with the faint smell of the donkeys. Sam smiled as he thought about how gentle they were. Even though Benji was curious and sometimes wandered off, he always returned when called. Lulu was playful and full of energy, but she always made sure her friends were near. Milo, calm and thoughtful, was always careful to follow his friends and avoid trouble. Sam felt proud of them and hoped they would stay safe until he reached them. As Sam walked, he remembered the last time the donkeys had wandered off. They had ended up near a small grove of trees, and he had found them cuddled together, resting in the soft grass. He hoped it would be the same this time. He climbed a small rise to get a better view of the fields. From there, he could see a little grove where the grass was softer, and the shadows of the trees made a cozy spot. His eyes searched carefully, and then he thought he saw 3 small shapes moving slowly in the distance. Sam ran toward the grove, calling their names a little louder. Benji, Lulu, Milo. The baby donkeys lifted their heads at the sound. Benji brayed softly, Lulu neighed, and Milo made a quiet sound. They recognized Sam's voice immediately and felt comforted. Even though they had been exploring and having fun, they were happy to know that their kind cowboy friend was nearby. The grove of trees was small but perfect for resting. The sun filtered through the leaves, making soft patterns on the ground. Benji, Lulu, and Milo moved closer together, feeling a little tired from their morning adventure. The grass was soft, and the shade made the spot cool and comfortable. They looked around carefully but did not move too far from each other. Sam reached the grove carefully, making sure not to startle the little donkeys. He could see them clearly now. They were small, happy, and safe. Max ran ahead, wagging his tail and barking gently to show Sam where exactly the donkeys were. Sam knelt down and smiled, feeling a wave of relief and happiness. "There you are," he said softly. "I was looking everywhere for you 3. The baby donkeys brayed softly and nuzzled against each other. Benji's ears twitched. Lulu bounced slightly in excitement, and Milo gave a gentle bray. They were happy to see Sam and also happy that they had each other. Sam reached out his hands and gently petted their soft fur. The donkeys leaned into his touch, feeling safe and loved. After a few minutes, Sam helped them up and guided them back toward the barn. Benji followed closely. Lulu bounced along, and Milo walked calmly beside Sam. The baby donkeys were tired but happy from their little adventure. They seemed to understand that Sam cared for them and that he would always make sure they were safe. The sun was climbing higher in the sky, and the ranch was coming alive with the sounds of animals and nature. Sam smiled as he thought about the rest of the day. The adventure had been exciting, but now it was time for the baby donkeys to rest and enjoy some food and comfort in the barn. The bond between Sam and the donkeys had grown stronger, and he knew that they would always trust him no matter how far they wandered. Sam carefully guided the 3 baby donkeys through the fields back toward the barn. Benji, the curious one, looked around at every patch of grass and flower, while Lulu bounced happily, trying to explore a little even while following Sam. Milo stayed close to Sam's side, walking calmly and gently, nudging Sam's leg with his soft nose from time to time. The sun was high in the sky now, and its warm rays shone through the leaves of the trees. Birds sang cheerfully as if celebrating the reunion. The breeze made the grass sway gently, and Sam felt a peaceful calm. Even though he had been worried about the donkeys earlier, seeing them safe and happy made all his concern melt away. Sam spoke softly to them as they walked. "You three had quite the adventure today. Let's get back to the barn where it's safe and warm." His voice was gentle, but the baby donkeys understood it well. They trusted him completely. Even Benji, who loved wandering off, stayed close, sensing Sam's care and attention. As they walked, Sam thought about how much he loved each of them. Benji had a brave, curious heart, always exploring and learning about the world. Lulu had endless energy and joy that made everyone smile, while Milo was gentle and thoughtful, always making sure his friends were safe. Sam felt lucky to have such wonderful little animals on his ranch. Max, the ranch dog, ran happily alongside them. His little paws moved quickly across the soft grass, and he barked now and then as if guiding the donkeys along the right path. The baby donkeys seemed to enjoy Max's company too. Benji would occasionally trot ahead and then run back, almost like he was showing Max a new path. Lulu bounced and pranced, laughing with her tiny sounds, while Milo simply walked steadily, happy to be surrounded by friends and warmth. The fields around them were wide and green. The barn was visible now, standing tall and welcoming with its red paint shining in the sunlight. Sam could see the hay bales stacked neatly inside, and the small wooden fence that marked the pen for the donkeys. He smiled, knowing that soon the baby donkeys would have a comfortable, safe place to rest and eat. Along the way, they passed a small creek that ran gently across the field. The water sparkled under the sunlight, and the baby donkeys paused for a moment to look at their reflections. Benji brayed softly, and Milo dipped a hoof into the water to feel its coolness. Lulu jumped lightly around the edge, making tiny splashes with her little hooves. Sam laughed quietly, enjoying the playful scene. He knelt down for a moment and petted them as they explored, making sure they stayed safe and didn't get too close to the deeper part of the creek. Finally, they reached the barn. Sam opened the gate to the donkey pen, which was lined with fresh hay. The pen was warm, comfortable, and clean, ready for the little animals to rest after their morning adventure. Benji, Lulu, and Milo walked inside carefully. They sniffed the hay and looked around. Their eyes sparkled with curiosity and happiness. Sam kneeled and petted them gently. They nuzzled him, pressing their small noses against his hands and chest. "You three are safe now," Sam said with a smile. "You had a big adventure, but it's good to be home." The baby donkeys brayed softly as if agreeing with him. They turned toward each other and cuddled together in the soft hay. Benji rested his head on Lulu's back. Lulu nuzzled Milo, and Milo lay close to both of them, feeling warm and loved. Sam stayed with them for a while, watching their little movements and gentle sounds. He noticed how happy they were to be together and safe. Their small tails flicked happily, and their ears twitched at every soft sound around them. The barn felt cozy, filled with warmth and love. Sam knew that even though the baby donkeys were small, their hearts were full of trust and joy. After a few minutes, Sam stepped back and watched them settle down. They were tired but content. Benji closed his eyes while still keeping a small watch over his friends. Lulu was quiet now, resting her head on Milo, and Milo gave a soft sigh of comfort. Sam felt a deep happiness seeing them so peaceful. He knew that caring for them and spending time with them was one of the best parts of his life. Outside the barn, the ranch continued to shine in the sunlight. The field stretched wide, the trees swayed gently in the breeze, and the sound of birds filled the air. Inside the barn, however, it was quiet and warm. Sam knew that for now the little donkeys were safe, happy, and completely at ease. He smiled again, feeling grateful for their trust and the gentle bond they shared. The morning had started with worry, but it ended with joy and relief. Sam realized that small creatures like Benji, Lulu, and Milo could bring enormous happiness. He promised himself to always watch over them, guide them, and give them love and care. The adventure of the morning had reminded him of the simple but important truth: kindness, patience, and care could create a bond stronger than anything else. Sam watched the three baby donkeys closely as they settled into the soft hay inside their pen. Benji, Lulu, and Milo had wandered far that morning, but now they were safe, calm, and comfortable. The little donkeys nuzzled each other, their small noses pressing together and their tiny ears twitched at the gentle sounds of the barn. Sam could see that they trusted him completely, and it filled his heart with warmth. He knelt down carefully near them, keeping his movements slow so as not to startle the little animals. "You three are brave," Sam said softly. "But it's nice to be together and safe, isn't it?" Benji lifted his head and brayed gently as if agreeing. Lulu bounced lightly on her tiny hooves before lying down again, curling close to Milo. Milo, the gentle one, leaned into Sam's hand and gave a soft sigh of comfort. Sam smiled and reached out to pet them. Their fur was soft and warm, and they leaned into his touch without hesitation. He could feel their small hearts beating quickly from excitement and relief, but also from the comfort of being close to someone who cared. Benji rested his head on Sam's knee. Lulu nuzzled his hand, and Milo pushed gently against his chest. Sam laughed quietly, feeling a deep connection with them. The barn was quiet except for the soft sounds of the donkeys moving and the wind outside. Sunlight streamed through the wooden slats, creating a cozy, warm atmosphere. Sam noticed how the shadows of the leaves danced on the floor, and the smell of fresh hay mixed with the scent of the little donkeys made the barn feel peaceful and happy. For a moment, Sam forgot about the worries of the morning. He simply enjoyed the presence of his tiny friends and the calm of the barn. The baby donkeys seemed to feel the same way. Benji closed his eyes for a short nap while still keeping his head near Sam. Lulu rested her tiny body against Milo, and Milo leaned against Sam's leg, feeling safe and loved. Sam's gentle hands stroked their fur, and he whispered soothing words to them. "You are safe here. You don't need to worry. I will always be here for you." Sam remembered the first day he had brought them to the ranch. They had been small, shy, and unsure of the world. He had spent many days patiently guiding them, feeding them, and helping them learn about their new home. Now they were more confident and happy, but they still needed comfort and care. Sam realized that the little donkeys had chosen him not only as their caretaker, but also as someone they could trust completely. As the morning passed, Sam continued to sit with them. He watched Benji wiggle his ears and twitch his tail, Lulu nuzzle Milo gently, and Milo give soft brays that sounded like contented sighs. Each little movement reminded Sam of how special they were, and how important it was to provide love and attention. He understood that small creatures could bring enormous joy, and these little donkeys were proof of that. At one point, Benji tried to climb a little higher on the hay. Attempting to get closer to Sam, Lulu followed him, and Milo stayed near Sam's side, leaning gently against him. Sam laughed quietly. "You three are something else," he said. "You love cuddles, don't you?" The donkeys responded with soft noises, pressing closer and nudging Sam as if to say yes. The bond between Sam and the baby donkeys grew stronger in that quiet barn. He realized that trust and care could create a connection deeper than words. The donkeys were playful and curious, but they also knew when they needed comfort. They had trusted him when they were small and lost that morning, and now they continued to show their love in the simplest and sweetest ways. Time passed quickly, but Sam didn't mind. He stayed close to the donkeys, watching them rest and play gently in the soft hay. The barn was filled with warmth, light, and the quiet sounds of contented animals. Sam felt a deep happiness knowing that they were safe, happy, and loved. Finally, Sam leaned back slightly, letting the baby donkeys cuddle against him freely. Benji rested his head on Sam's chest. Lulu snuggled close to his side, and Milo leaned into his leg. Sam smiled and closed his eyes for a moment, feeling the soft weight of the little animals and the happiness that came from such a simple, trusting bond. He realized that sometimes the most important moments were not the big adventures or exciting events, but the quiet times when love and trust were shared. The morning adventure had brought worry and fear, but it ended in comfort, joy, and connection. The baby donkeys had reminded Sam of the importance of patience, care, and attention, and he knew he would always cherish these small but meaningful moments. As the sun continued to shine through the barn, Sam whispered to the little donkeys once more, "You are safe, happy, and loved. We will always be together." The donkeys brayed softly in response, and after spending some quiet time in the barn, Sam decided it was time to take the baby donkeys for a little walk around the ranch. Benji, Lulu, and Milo were full of energy again, and Sam knew that moving around a bit would make them happy. He gently guided them out of the pen, making sure each donkey stayed close. Benji trotted ahead with curious excitement. Lulu bounced lightly, and Milo stayed calmly by Sam's side. The morning air was warm and fresh, and the sunlight sparkled on the grass and trees. Birds sang from the branches above, filling the ranch with music. Sam smiled as he looked at the little donkeys exploring the fields. "Let's take a short walk and enjoy the morning," he said softly. The donkeys seemed to understand and moved along happily, sniffing the grass and looking around at the flowers and trees. As they walked, Sam remembered all the times he had taken care of them since they were very small. He had fed them, cleaned their pen, and taught them how to stay close when exploring. The baby donkeys had grown to trust him completely, and their tiny hearts were full of affection for him. Sam felt a warm happiness knowing that he had earned their trust through patience and kindness. They passed a small patch of wildflowers that swayed gently in the breeze. Benji brayed softly and ran toward the flowers, sniffing each one with curiosity. Lulu pranced around him, her tiny hooves making soft sounds on the grass. Milo walked calmly behind them, watching carefully to make sure both of his friends were safe. Sam laughed quietly at their excitement and knelt to pet Milo, who leaned into his hand gratefully. Nearby, Max, the ranch dog, ran alongside them. His little paws moved quickly, and he barked happily as if encouraging the donkeys to follow Sam's lead. The baby donkeys seemed to enjoy Max's company. Benji ran ahead and then came back, nudging Max gently as if to say hello. Lulu bounced happily and Milo stayed calm, feeling safe with Sam and Max nearby. The three little donkeys were full of life, but they also knew that Sam was there to guide them. As they continued walking, they reached a small creek that sparkled in the sunlight. The water was clear and cool, and the baby donkeys stopped to look at it. Benji dipped his hoof into the water, enjoying the refreshing feeling. Lulu bounced around the edge, splashing lightly with her tiny hooves. Milo leaned close to Sam's side, letting him feel the water while remaining steady. Sam laughed softly and petted each donkey, making sure they were careful and safe near the water. After exploring the creek, they walked slowly toward the barn again. Sam noticed how happy the donkeys were to be outside, moving freely and enjoying the beauty of the ranch. He spoke softly to them as they walked. "You three are very brave. I am glad you are enjoying your little adventure. The barn is not far now, and you will have a nice rest soon." The baby donkeys listened and followed him closely, their trust in him clear in their bright eyes. When they finally reached the barn, Sam led them to the pen and opened the gate. Benji, Lulu, and Milo walked in carefully, sniffing the fresh hay and looking around. Their eyes sparkled with curiosity and happiness. Sam knelt down to pet them again. Benji leaned against his leg. Lulu nuzzled his hand and Milo pressed gently against his chest. Sam laughed quietly, feeling joy and pride in their gentle trust. Sam had prepared some small treats for the baby donkeys. He gave Benji a crisp apple slice, which he nibbled happily. Lulu received a fresh carrot and chewed it with excitement, and Milo licked Sam's hand gently in appreciation. The little donkeys enjoyed their treats while staying close to Sam, showing how much they loved his care. Sam watched them with a warm smile, knowing that these small moments of love and trust were the most important part of the day. After the treats, Sam sat down near the pen, letting the baby donkeys settle into the soft hay. Benji curled up next to Lulu, and Milo leaned gently against Sam's leg. The barn was quiet except for the small sounds of contented animals and the soft breeze outside. Sam realized that even though the day had started with worry, it had ended with happiness, care, and trust. The little donkeys had enjoyed their adventure, and now they were resting peacefully, surrounded by safety and love. Sam stayed with them, stroking their fur and whispering gentle words. "You three are safe, happy, and loved," he said softly. Benji brayed lightly. Lulu nuzzled him and Milo made a gentle sound as if agreeing. Sam smiled, knowing that these moments were more important than anything else. He had guided them, cared for them, and built a bond that would last forever. As the sun continued to shine on Sunny Creek Ranch, Sam watched the baby donkeys rest and play gently. The warmth of the sunlight, the gentle sounds of the animals, and the soft fur of the little donkeys made him feel peaceful and happy. He knew that every adventure, every worry, and every cuddle was part of the joy of caring for them. Sam promised himself to always protect them, guide them, and give them love, knowing that the trust they shared was one of the most beautiful things in life. After the morning walk, Sam decided it was time for the baby donkeys to rest properly in their cozy pen. Benji, Lulu, and Milo had explored the fields and creek, and now they were ready for comfort and warmth. Sam carefully led them toward the barn, walking slowly so that each donkey could stay close and feel safe. Benji trotted ahead with curiosity, Lulu bounced lightly, and Milo walked calmly by Sam's side. The barn was quiet and filled with soft light from the morning sun streaming through the windows. The wooden beams made the space feel warm and welcoming, and the smell of fresh hay filled the air. Sam had prepared a special pen for the baby donkeys, lined with fresh hay that was soft and comfortable for resting. He opened the gate and guided them inside. Benji immediately sniffed around, curious about the fresh hay. Lulu pranced happily on the soft floor, and Milo stayed close to Sam, feeling secure with his gentle presence. Sam knelt down and petted each donkey, letting them know that they were safe and loved. "Here you go, little ones," he said softly. "This is your cozy spot for the day. You can rest and feel warm." The baby donkeys settled into the pen, pressing close to each other. Benji rested his head on Lulu's back. Lulu curled up beside Milo, and Milo leaned against Sam's leg. They made small, soft noises of contentment, their tiny tails flicking happily. Sam smiled as he watched them, feeling a warm happiness from their trust and affection. Sam spent time stroking their soft fur, whispering gentle words to them. "You are safe, happy, and loved," he said. The baby donkeys responded with small brays and nuzzles, showing their comfort and joy. Sam noticed how peaceful they looked, their eyes half closed as they began to relax in their cozy pen. He remembered how each donkey had a special personality. Benji was adventurous and curious, always wanting to explore new places. Lulu was playful and full of energy, bringing happiness and excitement to everyone around her. Milo was calm and gentle, thoughtful in his actions and careful to stay close to his friends. Sam realized that caring for them meant understanding their personalities and giving each of them attention in the way they needed. After a few minutes, Sam reached for a small bucket of fresh water and set it near the pen. He also brought some soft hay and a few treats for them. Benji sniffed the hay eagerly and began nibbling gently, while Lulu took a carrot from Sam's hand and chewed it happily. Milo licked Sam's hand with a soft nuzzle, showing his gentle appreciation. Sam laughed quietly, enjoying the little scene. The donkeys were full of life, but they also understood the comfort of care and attention. As the morning passed, Sam stayed with them, watching their small movements and quiet sounds. Benji shifted slightly, curling closer to Lulu. Lulu nuzzled Milo softly, and Milo leaned against Sam's leg, feeling safe and loved. The barn was filled with warmth, sunlight, and the quiet happiness of contented animals. Sam knew that these moments of care and trust were the most important part of their day. He remembered how the baby donkeys had wandered earlier and how worried he had been. Now, seeing them relaxed and comfortable, he felt a deep relief and joy. The little donkeys had reminded him of patience, kindness, and the importance of gentle care. Even small creatures could bring great happiness, and their trust was a treasure. Sam stayed nearby as they rested, letting them cuddle against each other and himself freely. Benji rested his head on Sam's knee. Lulu leaned against Milo, and Milo pressed gently against Sam's leg. He felt the warmth of their soft bodies and the happiness that came from their quiet companionship. Each little movement, each small nuzzle reminded Sam of the bond they shared. The sun continued to shine through the barn windows, casting a golden glow on the hay and the baby donkeys. Sam whispered to them again, "You are safe, happy, and loved. I will always be here for you." The donkeys responded with soft noises, showing their comfort and trust. Sam realized that even though their adventures could be exciting, these quiet moments of care and connection were just as important. Finally, as the baby donkeys began to close their eyes for a short rest, Sam leaned back slightly, watching them settle comfortably in the soft hay. The barn was calm and warm, filled with sunlight and the gentle sounds of contentment. Sam felt a deep sense of happiness and peace, knowing that Benji, Lulu, and Milo were safe, loved, and completely at ease. He promised himself to always guide, protect, and care for them, knowing that their bond was one of the most precious things in life. Over the next few days, the story of the 3 baby donkeys spread quietly among the nearby ranchers. Everyone had heard about Benji, Lulu, and Milo wandering off and how they had been found safe, cuddled up with Sam in the barn. The tale of their little adventure quickly became a favorite among the neighbors, who admired the bond between the donkeys and their kind cowboy friend. Sam continued his daily routine at Sunny Creek Ranch, but now he noticed more visitors coming by. Children and families from nearby farms and towns were curious to see the famous baby donkeys. The little donkeys had always been friendly, but now they seemed even more joyful, as if they understood that everyone wanted to see them and share in their happiness. Benji was still the most curious. He sniffed at every new visitor and moved carefully to see what they were doing. Lulu bounced around with excitement, showing her playful energy to everyone who came near. Milo stayed close to Sam, calm and gentle, observing the visitors with quiet interest. Sam smiled as he watched their personalities shine through. Each donkey was unique, but together they made a lively and heartwarming group. One sunny afternoon, a group of children arrived to see the donkeys. Sam led them to the barn where Benji, Lulu, and Milo were waiting. The children gasped with delight at the sight of the little animals. Benji brayed softly and approached the visitors, curious but friendly. Lulu pranced around, showing her energy and playfulness, while Milo leaned against Sam's leg, giving a gentle nuzzle to the children who reached out to pet him. The children laughed and clapped, enjoying every moment with the donkeys. They watched as Benji sniffed their shoes and as Lulu hopped lightly around the hay. Milo stayed calm, letting everyone gently touch him and feel his soft fur. Sam guided the children, explaining how each donkey had its own personality and how important it was to be kind and gentle with them. "This is Benji," Sam said, pointing to the curious donkey. "He loves to explore, but he always stays safe with his friends and me. Lulu is playful and full of energy, and Milo is calm and gentle. They all love cuddles and attention, just like everyone here." The children listened closely and smiled as they learned about the donkeys. They were amazed at how friendly and trusting the little animals were. Over the next few hours, the children played with the donkeys, guided by Sam. They ran around the barnyard, laughing and cheering while the donkeys followed happily. Benji explored the corners of the yard, sniffing everything with interest. Lulu pranced and bounced, showing off her playful side. Milo stayed nearby, calm and gentle, occasionally nudging a child with his soft nose. Sam watched them all, feeling proud and happy. The ranch became lively with the joyful sounds of children and animals. Birds sang from the trees, the wind rustled the leaves, and the little donkeys made soft braying sounds of happiness. Sam noticed how the donkeys seemed to enjoy the company of visitors, but they also always returned to him for comfort and guidance. Their bond with him remained strong, showing that trust and love could create a deep connection. By the end of the day, the children said goodbye, waving as they left the ranch. The baby donkeys followed Sam back to the barn, tired but happy from their exciting day. Benji rested his head on Lulu. Lulu curled up beside Milo, and Milo leaned gently against Sam's leg. Sam petted them all, feeling the warmth of their soft fur and the trust they shared. That evening, as the sun set over Sunny Creek Ranch, Sam reflected on the past few days. The little donkeys had not only brought joy to him, but also to everyone who visited. Their playful energy, curiosity, and gentle nature made them special. Benji, Lulu, and Milo had reminded Sam of the importance of patience, care, and love. He knew that these small moments of connection and happiness were treasures that could never be measured. Sam stayed with the donkeys a little longer, watching them settle into the soft hay in the barn. Benji closed his eyes. Lulu rested her head on Milo, and Milo leaned gently against Sam's leg. The barn was quiet, warm, and peaceful. The baby donkeys were tired from the day, but happy, safe, and full of trust. Sam whispered softly to them, "You are loved, safe, and happy. You bring joy to everyone around you." The donkeys responded with small, contented brays, showing their gentle appreciation. As night fell over the ranch, the barn glowed softly with the last rays of sunlight. Sam knew that the bond he shared with Benji, Lulu, and Milo had grown stronger than ever. The little donkeys had brought happiness to many people, but most importantly, they had shared their trust and love with him. Sam smiled quietly, feeling proud and grateful. He knew that no matter what adventures or challenges came in the future, the bond between him and the baby donkeys would remain unbreakable, full of warmth, trust, and love. Months passed at Sunny Creek Ranch, and the days became full of joy, laughter, and the gentle sounds of animals playing. Benji, Lulu, and Milo had grown a little, but were still small enough to be adorable and playful. Each morning, the sun rose over the green fields, and the little donkeys greeted Sam with soft brays and happy jumps. Their tiny tails flicked with excitement, and their ears twitched as they saw him coming. Sam had made a special routine for the baby donkeys. Every morning, he would lead them out to the fields for a little adventure. Benji loved exploring new corners of the ranch, sniffing the flowers and discovering interesting patches of grass. Lulu bounced around joyfully, chasing butterflies and leaping over small puddles after the morning dew. Milo stayed calm and gentle, always making sure his friends were nearby and safe. The ranch was lively and full of warmth. Birds sang from the trees. The sun made the grass sparkle, and the gentle breeze carried the fresh scent of hay and flowers. Visitors from nearby farms often came to see the famous baby donkeys. Children would laugh and cheer as the little donkeys approached them, showing their playful and friendly personalities. Benji would sniff curiously. Lulu would bounce and hop with excitement, and Milo would give gentle nuzzles to anyone who reached out to him. Sam guided the visitors, teaching them how to be kind, patient, and gentle with the animals. Every day, Sam noticed how much the baby donkeys had grown in confidence and happiness. Their bond with him had grown even stronger. They trusted him completely, following him wherever he went, curling up near him when they wanted comfort, and showing affection in small, gentle ways. Benji would rest his head on Sam's leg. Lulu would snuggle close to Milo, and Milo would press gently against Sam's side. These simple gestures made Sam feel warm and grateful. One afternoon, Sam decided to sit in the field and let the donkeys explore nearby while he watched. Benji ran ahead, exploring a patch of flowers. Lulu pranced and jumped, chasing the soft wind as it blew through the grass. Milo stayed calm and observant, occasionally nudging Sam gently. Sam laughed quietly at their playful energy. Even though they were small, the baby donkeys brought enormous happiness with their curiosity, kindness, and gentle hearts. As the day went on, Sam noticed how the donkeys also enjoyed simple moments of closeness. When the sun became too warm, they would gather near him under the shade of a tree. Benji rested his head on Sam's chest. Lulu leaned against Milo, and Milo pressed gently against Sam's side. Sam petted them softly and whispered, "You are safe, happy, and loved. I will always be here for you." The donkeys responded with soft, happy brays, showing their trust and contentment. The visitors who came to the ranch often remarked on the special bond between Sam and the baby donkeys. They had seen the little animals cuddle with him, follow him around the fields, and respond to his gentle words. Sam felt proud and happy, knowing that the donkeys were not only loved by him but also spreading joy to everyone around them. He realized that the most important moments were the quiet, gentle ones where love, trust, and care were shared freely. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow across the fields, Sam led the baby donkeys back to the barn. Benji, Lulu, and Milo walked happily, occasionally looking back at him to make sure he was near. The barn was warm and welcoming, filled with the soft smell of fresh hay. Sam opened the gate to their pen, and the donkeys entered carefully, sniffing the hay and looking around. They were tired but happy, ready to rest after a joyful day. Sam prepared their soft hay, fresh water, and a few treats. Benji nibbled on an apple slice. Lulu chewed a carrot happily, and Milo licked Sam's hand gently, showing his appreciation. Once the treats were finished, the donkeys settled into the hay. Benji rested his head on Lulu. Lulu leaned against Milo, and Milo pressed gently against Sam's leg. The barn was quiet, warm, and peaceful. Sam sat nearby, watching the baby donkeys as they closed their eyes for a short rest. He realized how lucky he was to have them in his life. They had taught him patience, kindness, and the joy of caring for someone who trusted you completely. Every day brought new adventures, small moments of happiness, and the gentle love of 3 little donkeys who had found not only a home, but also a friend in him. As the last rays of sunlight faded and the barn became calm, Sam whispered softly, "You are loved, safe, and happy. We will always be together." Benji, Lulu, and Milo made soft braying sounds in response, pressing close to him. Sam smiled, feeling the warmth of their trust and love. He knew that no matter what days lay ahead, the bond they shared would remain strong, gentle, and full of joy. Sunny Creek Ranch was quiet that evening.